Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me. Yes, I'm wearing a bonnet because I know somebody's gonna say something about it. It's not the first time I'm wearing a bonnet. It will not be the last. I can promise you that. This is Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 5. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So we're gonna start with Hannah and Nick's reveal. Talk about awkward.
Marry me?
Am I what you expected me to look like?
Of course. Way to embarrass me by being taller than me.
It is making me feel a little bit insecure because I feel like I'm bigger than him.
I mean, you already knew what I was gonna look like, right? You're beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, you're everything I could ask for.
Thank you.
There was a point in the reveal where she was folded up like this, trying to talk to him like, oh, stop. Girl, you could not look more uncomfortable. Oh my days. It's so funny how at the beginning, not at the beginning, sorry, later on, she says, oh, I didn't have any expectations of what you would look like. Yes, you did. You heard footballer, you thought you were gonna get you a big dog. You know that trend on TikTok right now? She don't want a puppy, she want a big dog. Well, you got a puppy, girl. Yeah, you got a puppy. I can't even fault her, like, for being disappointed. Like, as a bigger woman, it's just a thing that a lot of us have. Like, I don't want to feel like a Gigantosaurus Rex next to my man. And, you also are on Love is Blind. So sometimes you run the risk of this happening. Yeah. And this isn't the first time it has happened too. Wasn't it season 2? It was Kyle and Shayna? Where he was smaller than she expected, and she was like, oh, don't know if I like that. I mean, they had a lot of other issues too, like the fact that she was Christian and he was atheist. Don't even know why they proceeded with the relationship at that point, but hey. The point is, I do kind of understand her disappointment. Now, somebody left a comment, which is low-key a spoiler, but honestly, you guys have been doing well. I gotta give you your props. You guys have been doing well. You didn't spoil too much. Somebody said that a punter and a kicker is typically on the slimmer side. Now, I don't know this to be true, but if she's an athlete and she's been around footballers and stuff, you would think that that's something she would know. I'm taking this person's word for it. If it's not true, somebody else give me context. But yeah, she kind of set herself up there. But he set himself up too for disappointment because you're joking about looking like Superman. You say like, oh, I'm more handsome than... what's that man's name? Oh, what's that man's name? Kelsey, one of the Kelsey boys. That one was a joke, but it doesn't matter. As soon as you start talking about physique, you're building up an image on the person's head. And if you don't look like that to a T, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. So she had been in her head about what she looks like. Honestly, based on the reveal, it doesn't seem like he had an issue. If I'm not mistaken, when he went back to his side and she went to her side, he was looking back to see if she was looking. She never turned back around, not one time. Not one time. She was looking at the ring box. Wait, was that her or was that Britney? They both had awkward reveals. Speaking of Britney, the last episode left us on a cliffhanger. In my opinion, the fact that she even entertained this conversation was proof that she was probably going to accept his proposal. So after she read her little letter, he had a letter too. Didn't really pay attention to the letter, but he proposed. She said yes, and at the reveal, oh, she wanted to die.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to give it off on you.
It's okay. How does it feel to be engaged?
Oh, weird.
So how do you feel?
I don't know how I feel.
You knew I was gonna be thrilled.
Yeah, I did.
I want to be your structure so you can be like your most intuitive self. You want me to go into physical features? Like
No.
I really want to do
What?
is just like cuddle with you.
This is definitely one of those awkward moments in my life.
And here I was, thinking Hannah's reveal was awkward. Britney said, hold my drink. Hold my drink. I got another one for you. Oh, this was bad. This was so bad. She literally said, this is the most awkward thing I've ever experienced in my life. Poor thing. I can imagine the things that are swirling through her mind right now. I'm so glad that she said, I feel like you're lying whenever he's like, I love you. Because everything he was saying to me just sounded like straight BS. Everything he was saying was just bull. I didn't believe a thing he was saying. And it doesn't help too that he does this voice. I don't know if this is really how he talks, but he deliberately says, you know, and I love you so much. It's like he's trying to come across like this gentleman, and it's just not hitting. You would also think that with him trying to be this gentleman so badly, he would be less, I want to say aggressive, but not in like a violent type of way, obviously, but just pushy. He's so pushy with the physical affection. He kept having to pull her in or pull her down to cuddle, like, sir, look at the woman. She is so uncomfortable. There were moments where she would like kiss him on the neck and stuff, and I'm thinking maybe that's just a reflex, just because of the positions that they were in. Oh man, even watching it back as I'm editing now, like, it is insane. It's not translating for me. It's not translating for Britney. And yeah, she's clearly having regrets. Were they on the couples retreat? Were they on the couples? I don't think they were. I don't think they even made it to the couples retreat. Huh, I'm just taking that in. Ramsay proposes to Marissa, and during that whole proposal scene, he was talking about his masculinity again. I think this is like a thing for him. He tends to be judged for the fact that he's not this macho man. So he is happy that she accepts his more fluid version of masculinity. So going into the reveal, he's still reeling with this, like, am I gonna be her type? Is she gonna be okay with who I am? Baby, she was more than okay with it.
Oh my God. You're so good.
You are. Am I like what you expected, or?
Beautiful face.
Thank you. Yeah.
I do love you, and I'm in love. Oh, sorry.
These reveal kisses are always so awkward. And I know obviously it has to do with the fact that this person is literally a stranger. You've never seen them before, no matter how much people want to convince themselves that they truly love these people behind a wall. They're still a stranger, but I still believe we have lost the art of kissing. I do. I'm sorry. I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to die on it. I think we've lost the art, y'all. But anyways, she says the kiss was great. She says this later on in the episode. She's like, oh my gosh, our first kiss was so magical. It was so great. Love that for you, girl. This is the most enthusiastic fiance I think I've ever seen. Has anybody screamed? Wait. Oh no, I was going to think about Mexico. Mexico had some really enthusiastic meetups. So people were like running and smashing into each other. I'm like, oh, y'all like each other. Y'all definitely like each other. So I like that she was very enthusiastic. I think that was a boost for Ramsay's as well. Like, okay, whatever issues I had coming in, clearly throw them to the wind because she is not bothered. I also like that she's getting what she wants, you know? Like, yes, love is blind. It's easy to say, but we all know there's an element of, okay, but he better be attractive though. Okay, but she better be attractive. So I'm glad that they are mutually into each other. I also feel like even if Ramsay's wasn't her type, I think she should change her type. I mean, she doesn't have to, but these two suit so well. I feel like they complement each other so well. I can see them gravitating towards each other in real life. Or maybe it's just the fact that she's just so happy about it that it makes me think like, oh yeah, I could see this happening naturally. I don't know. I like it. I'm happy for them. They look good together. At the couples retreat, Ashley and Tyler talk about sex because they actually didn't touch on the topic while they were in the... Actually, they touched on it, but they didn't go deep in the pods.
We didn't really talk about that, like, in the pod. Like,
what?
Just sex in general. You were talking about, like, celibacy and stuff like that, and I was like, I respect them.
Yeah. Tired of just, like, not having connections with people. The next time I give myself to someone, I want it to be someone like I care about,
100%.
I love, so.
Yeah.
Tyler has not had sex in a minute, but he's not being deliberately abstinent, whereas Ashley is being deliberately abstinent. Although she's Christian, she says that it's not tied to her religion at all. She's just tired of engaging with people sexually when there isn't a deep connection there. And at some point, you get tired of giving yourself to people who just are not endgame, you know? We see a quick scene of Alex and Tim. She tells him that she is farsighted, nearsighted, farsighted. One of the sighteds. And she says that she didn't actually take him in fully until she was really close to him. And Ashley, in an interview, one of you guys sent it to me. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but one of you guys sent me a clip of Ashley saying the same thing. She needs her glasses as well, so she didn't really take in his features until they got closer. I think the person sent me that to kind of prove why it was a little bit awkward during the reveal. I still think that it was awkward when they were sitting right next to each other. And I'm going to go with the narrative that it's nerves. I'm hoping it's nerves because I really like these two. I'm so sold on their relationship. So I'm just going to say it's nerves. It's nerves. It's nerves. It's nerves, right? Yeah. Ramsay and Marissa talk about Marissa's type in the past. She does say that hypermasculinity tends to be something that she would go for. Well, I don't know if she would go for it if that's just what, I don't know. The point is, her exes tended to be more masculine than Ramsay's is. He's obviously not as hypermasculine as her past. So she says she's okay with it, and I believe her. I do think she's okay with it. Even though Hannah is getting more comfortable with what Nick looks like, she tells him that she had no expectations of what he could potentially look like in person. We know that that's not true. I think that this is her trying to convince herself, but I mean, at this point, do what you gotta do because you're already engaged, so you might as well give it a try. They talk about sharing their sex life, if there even is to be a sex life. He says that he would rather keep that information to themselves. Like, they don't want to share too much about what's going on in their intimate life. And she's like, that's not a problem, okay? Because I don't think they'll be having sex. But hey, if they do, that's their business. On the other hand, you have Steven. This man cannot wait to get a piece of Monica.
He's an electrician and he went to a 2-year college. I don't give a fuck. I've been looking for him for a really long time.
And you just so happen to be just as beautiful on the outside.
I want to put on something more comfy. Or should I stay in this? You like it?
I do. I like it a lot. I really want to take it off of you. Yeah, if she wants to have sex tonight, I'm good to go. I'm waxed and everything, baby.
This man wants to devour this woman. He wants to eat her right up. And yes, I mean that in any way that comes to your mind. Yes, that way. Yes. I question if he's leading with lust. Yes, they connected in the pods and stuff, but I'm just he seems so lustful over her. And it's good. But too much of anything is not good, you know? I think it's good that he's attracted to his wife, but sometimes I'm okay, I don't know. She likes it, so it's fine. You like it, I love it, girl. Garrett says that he's happy to be engaged to Taylor. He says that on the outside, they likely wouldn't have cross paths. He probably wouldn't have approached her, but he's glad that this process has brought them together. And as time goes on, the physical attraction is growing.
Shorter, taller.
Well, so I expect him to be taller. 6 foot, I don't know.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did. Engaged to a woman that I may not have even approached at a bar before. Now I'm also developing this very strong physical.
I'm not very good at asking for things. It's where it's just do it myself.
Yeah. Is that a good thing that we're both that way, or is this a bad thing? We have to open ourselves up to be a couple.
They speak about their moms. Both of their moms are very hospitable, caring women. They talk about Miss Fong a little bit more. This has been quite the conversation in the comment section. I don't know. I feel like an argument can be made on both sides. So some people are saying, well, maybe she didn't want to disclose her race because people can fetishize Asian women like they do other races as well, which is true. I'm not taking that away from the narrative here. The only thing for me is that an argument can be made on the other side as well. So if you don't disclose the fact that you are Asian or you are Latina, you're Black, you're whatever, you can run the risk of dealing with somebody who is racist, who has prejudice. You could also deal with the fact that after you learn that they are fetishizing you, and maybe if you would have said it earlier, you could have been able to see the signs or hear the verbiage in the pods to then decide, this is not my person. I just think an argument can be made on both sides. I don't think it's a cut and dry thing. Me personally, I think she made it a little bit deeper than it had to be. She could have just left it at, oh, you can call her Mrs. Blank. And then he asked, well, what is her first name? She could have just been cheeky like, you'll find out. If you put a ring on it, you'll find out. Like, there's just ways to pivot it. That's all I'm saying. I think it became bigger than it needed to be. That's all. They both say that they tend to be more independent. She says that she struggles to ask for help. She doesn't really ask her partners for things, but she has to put her pride aside and realize that in a partnership, you do have to relinquish some of that control. He says that he is working on doing that as well. So yeah, this is probably why she's so prickly sometimes. She is safeguarding herself. I hear it. I totally get it. I think this was a good conversation. We'll see if she's able to relinquish some of that control as the process goes on. So Tyler shares that he actually has some body image issues. He has some insecurities about his belly or something like that. And she affirmed him, like verbally, she was like, oh, no. I like what I see.
So here you go. These are my insecurities, my little, just sharing.
You a man.
I told you, I was like, I got a bunch of tattoos.
Where you gonna put mine at?
Just admire.
Glad you like what you see.
Like legit, the best experience of my life.
Same. I can see my girlfriend pulling me to the side like, think twice, bitch.
I think that she does a good job at letting him know that she's into him. It's just her body language that kind of throws me off a little bit. But either way, I still like them. They're still my favorite. One couple that I'm kind of losing hope in is Tim and Alex. She asks if she's bossy, and he's like, well, even if you are, I'm an immovable object, which to me, I decipher that as you can do and say whatever you want to do and say. I'm stubborn, and if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. Like, that's it. End of story. And she says that in the past, she used to have a short temper.
You feel like I'm like bossy? Because I feel like I am.
You could try to be. It's hard to get me outside of here.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I was like mad. I don't argue.
Back for your wife?
I don't. For my wife, sure. But
Most Virgos are stubborn.
Here we go. What annoys you? What's like the little thing?
I don't like repeating myself. This is you. Get it out now.
No.
And that's it.
Woof.
So I'm jumping in here to ask about this dog thing. This whole time, I thought he was a Q dog. So I thought he kept saying, it's that dog in me because he's a Q. Is he not a Q? Because if he's not, then yes, that would be annoying.
I said in the pods that there's something about Tim that makes me think like, oh, he's strict. Like, ooh, I don't know. Come to find out, Alex is kind of strict too. So we'll see. We'll see where things go with these two. I think that on paper it makes sense, but in reality, they might butt heads a lot. They might. And he said that back in the day, like he used to really play around. And you can even see in this conversation, like he likes to take the piss a lot. She'll say, hey, don't do this. And he will do it to spite her. And he even told us before with the whole yellow shirt thing, he bought it to spite the woman he was talking to. Like, I feel like it's going to be a problem. But I don't know. We'll see. Nick and Hannah have an interesting conversation. And this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these two. I don't really know what to make of it.
Was I a hot commodity in the pods? I want to see what the girls look like for sure. Your lips aren't done up, right?
Injections?
Yeah.
No.
I know. I'm just making sure. If I got the money for it, would you get it?
No.
I think natural women are the most beautiful.
I definitely go for like the really big, like handsome, best looking guy in the room. He like built himself in a way that was like different than maybe what he is.
So Nick is trying to figure out if he was a hot commodity amongst the women. And I'm thinking, who cares? If you were or if you weren't, who cares? You're here with your fiance, like who gives a damn? The Nick that I was seeing in the first episode, I wouldn't say that he was sleazy. Like I'm okay with charming people. I feel like I'm around a lot of charming people. So for somebody who's as charming as Nick was, it's not really an alarm to me. In this episode, I definitely see the sleaze. But he even threw out there like, oh, if I had the funds, would you want to do some body augmentations? And I'm like, I mean, I get it. It's a conversation to have, but seeing how body image has been such a thing for Hannah, like, why is this? Why? Yeah, I don't know what to make of this conversation. You guys let me know what you took away from it, but to me it just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So the episode ends in an absolute trade wreck. Before we go over there, let me just touch on the last couples. Tyler and Ashley, they pray before bed. Marissa wants to get in them draws, okay? Marissa wants to get in them draws. So does Steven. What else happened? Apparently Garrett sleeps with tape on his mouth. I don't know if it's because of like snoring or maybe he's a mouth breather at night. Anyways, then we get to Hannah and Nick. So he wants to ride these ducks. She's not really keen on riding these ducks. He goes and does it anyways. But to me, that's not the problem. When this next lady comes, Nick, you handled this so horribly.
Oh, God, Nick, don't do it. I can't look.
You want to come ride with me?
Oh, she's jealous. Don't be jealous.
He cannot be trusted.
You're way smarter, more beautiful. You're way more emotionally intelligent than I am.
I know. Too grown to ride a duck.
You're too grown.
I am.
Like, I can't be myself around you?
You can. You can.
Okay.
I still watched.
I think you were just jealous.
Of what, the dog? The lady?
Of the lady.
I don't find an issue with charming people. The issue that comes with people who are too charming is when they're unable to turn it off. You are now in a relationship. You are now engaged to somebody. What does it look like if you're there being chummy with some next gal, okay? And you don't even check this woman when she yells at your fiance, oh, you're jealous, don't be jealous. And you don't say nothing? You don't get up and leave? You then go back and talk to her and say that she's jealous to her. My mind was blown. You want to then come to me and say that I'm jealous of her, knowing the insecurities that... You got some nerve. You got some nerve. Some nerve. He really wants to be seen as the it guy. And baby, you're not it. Sorry. It pissed me off. Like, I was so frustrated with him. But I guess I shouldn't have expected anything more. Nick, no bueno. We will see what happens with him when he sees these other beautiful ladies that he's so excited to see. Anyways, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.